Hey there, Gabbers. Do you still believe that you need to niche down to be successful in your business industry? I hope not, because I'm going to break down why this whole concept of the riches are in the niches mantra is a little bit of BS. Let's get into it. I'm Sally Arias, and I'm the founder of the Grown Ass Business Method, and it is the no BS truth to growing a business and scaling a business, hopefully the easy way. So, how did this concept first get started? Well, number one, it should be said that a lot of business gurus wrote this concept in books and content early on, and it spread like wildfire. So, everyone was coaching and teaching this concept that you have to niche down in order to grow your business at all. Why would they do that? Why would they say that? Well, because it makes their job easier. For one, if I am coaching you and you are super specialized and specific about who you help, how you help them, what your one messaging statement is, what your one product is, you've just made my job a lot easier in this book that I'm writing or this coaching that I'm doing to get you a result. And then, I'm a genius, right? Of course, it is absolutely easier in many cases to niche down, but it doesn't mean that you have to. And it doesn't mean that that's the only way that business works. It's just easier on said coach or book writer and marketer. True. So, why is it easier? It does simplify your marketing. If you are speaking to one product, one audience with one clear message over and over and over again, it makes your whole marketing funnel focused, easier to measure what's working and what's not working, and easier to tweak, right? It also does make SEO and online visibility easier. You're always targeting specific keywords, targeting a specific audience who plays in specific places. And it makes it easier to position yourself or your product as the go-to expert person or go-to expert product. Okay, so yes, it is easier. It's just not necessarily the only way. If you are a person who is deeply frustrated with being pushed to niche, I just want to let you know there are some other ways to think about this. Number one, niching, if you think about it in a visual sense, this concept of niching down is all about picking a silo and going deep. That is one way to do it. You're picking your ideal customer, the product, the pricing, where they play, where they hang out, the marketing and the messaging and positioning, and the sales process that's going to work for them. We just go deeper and deeper and deeper down this one rabbit hole. Amazing. That's one way to do it. Absolutely. Another way to do it is to niche horizontally, right? What if you had one product that serves a lot of different silos on a horizontal line? That could be a service or a particular product. We could go real generic here to make life easy. Shoes are a product that serve many different types of people. A great example of this is, for example, recent phenomenon OnCloud. Very cool brand. Did you know that it's actually meant for runners only? It was designed and made to be a very light lift shoe for runners. They're not meant to be used for walking around in the city. They're not meant to be used for standing around a lot if you are a waiter or a chef or somebody or a nurse who's on their feet a lot. But somehow they've managed to become so cool and trendy across those different industries that this running shoe that's talked about as being so light and comfortable is now across industries being used by many different people. There are so many different ways to niche, and you could actually niche horizontally if you have a product that serves different people. So this is also true for software. It's almost like saying if I were to make a particular project management tool or an email tool, but it's only for dentists. you would look at me like I'm crazy and I'm losing out on all this market share. And you'd be right. So you can think about niching in the traditional sense that is being taught most often in a lot of the business coaching books and by online business coaches. And yes, does it make your life easier? Absolutely. Does it make their life easier? Absolutely. That is vertical niching down, thinking about your silo that you want to play in. If you are a person who might get really bored speaking to only one person forever, because remember, we're building a business that's going to last you for 20 to 25 years. You better love it. You better love what you're doing. If the thought of that bores you to tears, can you take your skill or tool or product and flip it on the side and do a horizontal niching? For example, my tools in the Grown-Ass Business Accelerator and in my software serve many, 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 many different types of business industries. The metrics that we look at are relevant not only to online business owners, but to brick and mortar stores, physical products, and all kinds of people. And I'm very clear about the types of businesses that it doesn't serve, but it can serve many types of businesses. Many of my colleagues think I'm crazy for saying that and that I should niche down. And I always explain to them, no, I'm niching horizontally. I'm serving an audience of different business owners with one tool that does things they need. So I ask you, how can you think about this if you are a multi-passionate entrepreneur who just cannot stand the thought of serving one person with really one messaging and one product forever? How can you think about your tool in a way that it could be horizontally niched? How can this one service, skill, or tool that you have serve many, many different people, like the On Cloud shoe? Whether you agree with it or not, people love it in all kinds of industries, and many of them are not runners. And remember this, in many product-based businesses, one of the best ways to start in any industry, and we can look at more recent brands that do this, like Skims, for example, did this really well. One of the best ways to start in a product-based business is do one product really well. Skims did this, Spanx did this, Lululemon did this. They were known for one particular item that did really well, and then they very quickly expanded into not only other items, other clothing items, but other product categories entirely. So you can also do this same type of thinking. Maybe I'm doing this one thing right now, this one service right now, but how can I also create so much success with this one thing that I move myself across the board and add products over time? This type of thinking will allow you to use your core strengths and skills and test new products, new offerings, new services over time, but based on what you've already done well, which is another interesting way of thinking about who am I without having to niche down to being one person all the time to everyone. All right. So I'm curious if you completely disagree with me, cool. Let me know in the chats. And if you've answered the question, how could I turn this on its head and think about niching horizontally? Let me know as well. And do all the other cool stuff like, share, subscribe, and we'll keep talking about all these fun business things.